So for anyone who has been living under a rock, on last Friday, President Trump announced that he and the First Lady had confirmed cases of COVID-19. And later that day, he was admitted to the Walter Reed Medical Center. His doctor said he received an 8-gram dose of Regeneron's experimental antibody cocktail. He also received remdesivir, Gilead Sciences' antiviral treatment, and a common steroid treatment called dexamethasone. The president has since left the hospital, and he tweeted a video crediting Regeneron's experimental treatment with his recovery. So, of course, all this excitement has bled over into the stock market. Regeneron stock is up 7% since Friday, October 2nd, continuing a nice, if volatile, streak since the pandemic began. It's actually up a little more than 60% since January 1st. All that is to say that it's a great time to take a fresh look at all the stocks involved in the COVID-19 treatment field. So today we're going to dive into some of the stocks investors might have their eye on. Brian, let's start with a question that I think a lot of us have as we toggle back and forth between news on treatments and news about the development of a vaccine. Will the need for these COVID-19 treatments decrease substantially once a safe and efficacious vaccine is widely distributed? Is this kind of a fleeting field, a Band-Aid while we wait for a vaccine, or is it here to stay?
I mean, it obviously depends on how well the vaccines work. If they're not 100%, then there's going to be people that are, and it's likely that they won't be 100%. So even people who do get the vaccine will eventually, some of those people will get COVID and will need treatment. So I think the treatments aren't going away completely. Will the demand go down as the amount of vaccine goes up, assuming the vaccine works? Yes, absolutely. But we also don't really know how many people are going to be interested in taking the vaccine, and also how much the vaccine is going to be available. Certainly in the beginning, only the most at-risk people are going to be able to get the vaccine. So until everybody's vaccinated, and that will be a long time, and maybe never if people decide they don't want to take it, then that's the only way we get it so that there wasn't any treatments needed.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of uncertainties and question marks that's basically going to decide that as things keep coming out about the vaccine trials. So speaking of the treatments, a lot has been said about emergency use authorizations. Can you tell us what that means compared to a true FDA approvals? Do emergency use authorizations expire?
Yeah, so they require less. I mean, first let's start off with what you need to get one, and that's then you need less data basically to get an emergency use authorization compared to a FDA approval, and the reason is because they understand that there's a higher risk, and so therefore you can have less data and still be able to get the emergency use authorization. And then the authorization only lasts as long as there's an emergency. So as soon as the pandemic is over, the companies would have to apply for full approval if they wanted to keep their drugs or vaccines on the market.